Good evening and salutations, my Jade fans. Christina. Here's the thing. Watching this scene, as heartless as it sounds, it was very hard for me to sit there and try to drudge up any sort of sympathy for her. Okay? Now, the reason why I sit there and say that is because, she's freaking out and everything about what Sunny did, but it's like they're writing her brand new to Sunny's life. Way back when she had her issue with Kiefer, and she wound up blaming Ethan instead of Kiefer because she knew that if Sonny found out it was Kiefer, it would have been a wrap, right? So she blamed Ethan, knowing that it was Luke's son and most likely he wouldn't eliminate him. But that's because she knew exactly how violent he was. So this whole panic attack and everything like that she's doing is like, really? We just gonna sit there and act like we weren't there for that? And she's acting brand new and we're just looking at the TV like, what's going on? Blaze gets there. She tells her what happened with Sunny and, how everyone tried to warn her about who Sunny was and she knew better. She knew that she thought that Sunny was a good man and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, no one's buying that. No one's buying that. And then let's just sit there and say, for the sake of argument, which I'm not even going to go with this train of thought that they got going on. Let's just sit there and say that she never knew what Sunny actually did, or better yet, she knew, but she chose not to believe it. She chose to sit there and believe in the best of him, and was just like, oh, I'm going to ignore all the haters and stuff. Then it's still hard for me to sit there and have sympathy for her because it's like, you know what? This is who he is. This is who you isn't there going back and forth with TJ, with Jocelyn, and now you had to sit there and see it firsthand. This is a I told you so. Now what you do moving forward with that child is on you. Um Very odd choices. I want to sit there and say it's odd, but I don't know what to sit there and say what it was, but one of the things with Gregory and Finn, when Gregory apologized for what he said and was there saying it wasn't, I didn't have any sort of resentment towards you or whatever, it was the disease that was talking. Here's the thing. It is okay to sit there and have that resentment towards him. It's okay. The fact that it built up that much, that was the problem. That was the problem. Now, I'm not saying his emotions isn't cloudy and he's just lashing out because, he feels he can't sit there and really take control of his body for too long, but I think that's just more of he just resented him. And that's totally fine. And I get that he wants to apologize to his son for how hurt how hurt his son was because of it, but and part of me is like, that's normal. I mean, that granted, what he did, that's not something that people normally do. But I'm saying, like, that's a normal, well-adjusted reaction. Oh, I've heard of far worse. So you good in my book. And then after that, after Violet, like Violet, it is late. Please take your behind the bed at this point. You left, you came back, you're talking some more. Just go to bed. just go to bed at this point. But after that, he helps his dad undress and everything. And then towards the end, he's thinking about his sons. They're playing all this really sad, depressing music. My whole thing is like, are you about to like kill him off or something? Like, what is going on? It was very odd. Now, I didn't really care much for the Brooklyn and Chase scene because they just didn't really give me much to care about. But the one thing that I'm glad that they did explain was the mom's absence. It was because of work. Because of work, because of an assignment, which is a piss poor excuse. And then he was like, yeah, well, given what happened with my brother and my mom and stuff like that, she didn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. Okay, cool. So that was a piss poor decision or a piss poor excuse number two. Because in all reality, that's your son. That's your son in his wedding day. And you're sitting there telling me, oh, I, I didn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. So, I'm just going to miss the one important day of your life. What happens when they have their first child? Oh, you know what? Gregory's already there. I don't want to really sit there and, I'll come back in a couple of days. You just send me some pictures. Really? Really? That's, now granted, it's their reason, and that's totally fine. I mean, like, they gave a reason, so that's good. It's just a very piss poor reason that I would sit there and say to any mother that would not go to their son's wedding because of feelings and work and everything. Now, part of me was sitting there thinking, Anna, what did you go and see Jack for? What did you go and see Mr. Brennan for? And she got there, and maybe it's just to sit there and put him on notice. Okay? Because when she got there, she practically was like, listen, I know, judging from the wounds and everything like that, that you made it, you know, where it was just enough for you to get out the hospital, but not enough to sit there and end you. Nothing was fatal. It was just to the point where it called for you to actually go to General Hospital and not just whatever doctor is just on staff at the jail. And also talked about how he's very good as far as fighting. So, when Brendan was like, well, they just got the best of me, and she was like, bush. But after that, just put him on notice, and they're saying, hey, listen, you're good, but I'm better. So pretty much, I'm keeping my eye on you. Now, Jason and Carly got together, and Carly decided to talk to Sonny. Sonny is just feeling at his lowest right now. Carly's there. Jason is like hiding away somewhere, but just within sight to make sure that he doesn't fly off the handle. Because if Sonny sees Jason, that's exactly what's going to end up happening. So she goes there to sit there and try to calm him down, um, and pretty much is like, listen, what happens? What happens? She saw one side, right? Now she probably won't erase it, and everything is still fresh, but you just got to make sure that you don't do it again. You know. Now, when Dex and Jocelyn are at the hospital, one of the things that Dex said was, well, I didn't want to sit there and try to fight him back. I was just sit there trying to block and dodge and everything like that, and hoping that he would recognize me. And I'm just like, what? Wasn't it the same guy who, when he came to your door, you had your gun ready to go off and basically sit there telling him, hey, listen, I'm not going to make this easy? But then you did exactly that. So you're not really like what you thought. He was just gonna be like, oh, you're the guy that I still liked and cared about and protected and stuff like that. You can't be that naive. Now I did sit there and ask a question in my members live stream as far as does Sunny deserve to be eliminated? Right? Because this whole scene, people just like, oh man, what Sonny did was wrong and this, that, and the third. But I'm like, in all reality, even if Sonny was on his meds, if he was actually a proper Dom, he would have ended Dax. Okay? He wouldn't have gave him a choice. You think Selena Wu would have been like, oh, you can either stay here and I can sit there and take you out, or you can disappear. Selena Wu would have just ended him. Sonny should have ended him. The fact that the only thing he got was a cut eyelid and a bloody lip, given the fact that he went straight to Anna and just spilled his guts, or just the simple fact that the organization, like the other mob people are just like, so you let him live? So you tell me you just soft then, right? You just weak? I mean, we should just come after you and just take your territory. A mob don does, they got to do what they got to do. So the fact that he's still breathing, I'm just saying. After that, Finn calls Alexis, tells her that, yeah, I slipped up or whatever. And she pretty much kind of tries to talk him down and just remind him, hey, listen, you just got caught up in the moment. It just happened. Um, don't be too hard on yourself. I'm still sitting there thinking there's, like, I don't understand how it went from a pill thing to a drinking thing, but whatever, fine. Um, Anyway, that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else, but if I miss anything, you know what to do. Come to a live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, Young and the Restless. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.